Welcome to the VERAfied Podcast. Another episode. Gentlemen, this is episode 10.
Number 10.
Episode 10.
Episode
We
X.
good.
Woo!
Good.
Episode X. Episode 10.
We've been
Let's
busy.
go.
We've been busy.
Been busy.
And you know
The
what,
heck?
guys?
Why is it going so fast?
I don't get that.
That is the truth, huh?
Yeah.
What the heck?
It feels like, wow, we've just been, we just started yesterday.
Yeah.
But we're very fortunate. B, Frank, by the way, I'm so excited. I didn't even introduce the superstars,
Oh,
right?
snaps.
We have Brandon the Truth Vera.
Superstar.
We have
regular dude.
Chief.
Yeah,
Chief
Frank
Franklin
Arriola.
area.
Superstar.
Hardly
Yeah.
a regular guy. And you got driving the bus, John Mafnas.
Queer John.
G. Mafnas.
Let's
Good to
go.
see you guys.
Off vilified.
Oh, I
political
know.
strategy. You saw that?
Off vilified. I love that article.
Throw that in there, baby.
But
Come
you
on
also
now.
threw in the
was
fact
true.
that I love all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah, of course.
All right. And you know what, gentlemen? We have to thank our brand partners because we wouldn't have episode X without the Guam Army National Guard.
Guam
Shout out
Army
for
National
sure.
Guard. Thank you very much,
Serving
partners.
the country, baby. Serving
Thank
the
you
country.
very much.
Three Blind Mice.
3 Blind Mice.
Bojo.
Make it all happen.
Gary,
they make it happen.
Robert.
They make
Duke.
it happen. Yeah, in
That's
case
right.
you were counting, that was 4.
That's
it.
it.
That was 4 of them.
Absolutely.
3 Blind Mice. I can count.
Guam Windward Memorial.
Yes, of course.
Bobby Salas.
Yep.
Big Rob Salas.
Get your brought
Sabrina
today.
Salas.
Thank you very much,
Very
Solace
important.
fam.
Absolutely. Grapplers Quest and Truth Apparel, man.
Coming up.
GQ, Truth Apparel.
GQ coming in the
GQ
month.
is,
Apparel.
yeah, what were we, 19, 20 days away?
Yeah.
Almost there.
And then Truth Apparel,
We
Franklin,
got some new drops
stuff.
coming up. Yeah.
New
the next
drops?
episode we'll
Be the cat.
he will he'll have his new.
I'll be wearing the new digs. I'll be
Yeah.
wearing the new digs.
All of us will be in.
I cannot
I
wait.
know. I just gotta say, I mean, I love all the caps though.
Yeah.
The caps.
I love it, man. I love it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
All right,
Can't wait.
gentlemen, we have such a full show. I'm telling you right now, even this first segment, it's a doozy. It's not a firecracker. It's kind of like I just watched Oppenheimer, so atomic bomb, nuclear bomb. Here we go. First subject. Part of Truth Be Told, presented by the Guam Army National Guard and 3 Blind Mice, is Bidenomics. Bidenomics has had the U.S. economy on a free fall since the Biden administration took office. Gas prices are up 60%. A bag of groceries seems like it's more expensive than some street-level drugs. Inflation is at a 40-year high, and yet the Biden-Harris campaign has made Bidenomics the focal point of their re-election effort. Why? B, would they hang their proverbial hat on a failing economy?
I would like to add to that, everything that you said is absolutely true. None of that is made up, and that's not, is the a good word hyperbole? Is that a good word?
Yeah, it's not hard.
It's not, that's not color. Like everything you just said is true. And we add to that people can't buy homes right now. People are stuck, not able to afford homes. I think the only reason why they keep using the term Bidenomics is the people that it has helped, the few that they keep stringing along with promises of student debt forgiveness, marijuana crime forgiveness, promises of XYZ. They need to keep what they have, and I think that's the reason why they keep harping on Bidenomics. But anyone with more than 2 brain cells knows that we're in trouble, and that Bidenomics has not been working. And if you think that Bidenomics is working, I would love to have an open debate on the show about Bidenomics, economics, policies, local and around the world. I think they're just trying to string along the people that they have hooked on Bidenomics and hooked on Biden, Harris. Other than that, I don't know why else they would be doing that. Man, from a common sense standpoint, and I'd like to ask Chief, like, on a political strategy, why would they be holding on to that?
Well, you hit it right on the head. They have their core base of liberal individuals who survive on government largesse, who survive on government handouts, and the media is also carrying his water.
Okay.
To commit that message to that particular group, right? So he makes sure that he keeps them on there. And the media doesn't question it ever, right? So if the media is not going to question it, then, those people who support Biden are going to be like, oh, you must be right because I'm not hearing otherwise. Now, to hang your hat, to actually put your name attached to something like this, in history, is going to go down as one of the worst marketing moves ever in the universe of the world, right? That's number one. Number two, he's saying that because the media is going to carry his water for him.
They're going to mockingbird it.
But he is not going to do anything else other than that. And what he's doing, he had his most recent speech at Valley Forge, Pennsylvania, his opening campaign speech, and he mentioned Donald Trump's name 44 times, right? So just think about that. That'll tell you all you need to know.
That's your opening speech.
He cannot defend his policies anywhere. We talked about the economy. That's bullshit. We talked about the border.
Oh, come on. What border?
That's an invasion, as you said, right? All is foreign policy. There's wars everywhere. People aren't going to buy that shit. But what they will
hang on
to is the fear. Okay. This guy's a demigod. This guy's he's the end of democracy as we know it. He's a racist. He's a sexist. He's all kinds of bullshit, right?
The orange man.
And again, the media is going to carry the water for him. They don't have to raise any money for a campaign. Shit. Every night on CNN, MSNBC, AB, all those three-letter.
Even Fox now.
They're all, Joe Biden's good. Yeah, fucking, he's great. Okay. But the attack is going to be on Trump, and that's their strategy. It's going to be purely, your life is bad right now, but with Trump, it's going to be worse. And when you have the media and technology helping you out, that's a tough combination. And the government, the weaponized government, right? I mean. The New York State Attorney General.
They're going after everyone that was in January 6th in D.C.
Can I say something on the J6?
Yeah, please. Sorry, we're on it. Sorry,
it is on. Right.
Sorry, Derek.
Told ya, this ain't a firecracker. It's a bomb.
Because even the J6 thing is popping up because that trial is coming around.
Yep.
And I know the political calculus for that. This guy's a bad guy. He's an insurrectionist, which is giving the gang in the Supreme Court in Colorado, we're going to remove him from the ballot. When I first heard that, I'm like, what? Mm-hmm. And then the gal in Maine, the Secretary of State in Maine, an avowed Biden supporter, just said, yeah, we're pulling him off the Trump's name off the ballot because he's an insurrectionist. Again, we said previously, no due process. I mean,
innocent innocent until proven guilty.
Correct.
Supposed to be, right?
So yeah, exactly. So they're rolling like that.
Yeah.
And of course, I pointed J6. And we've all been to rallies, right? And granted, it was the after election rally. Those people who stormed the Capitol, they weren't. I mean, they're not.
They didn't have weapons.
That wasn't an insurrection. I go back to the movie White House Down and Olympus Has Fallen.
Yes.
That's a freaking insurrection.
That's an insurrection.
Right there. Guns, bullets,
shooting,
all of it. Yeah. That's an insurrection. Those dudes, they're a bunch of rednecks.
They were smoking weed. They were smoking
they were
weed.
all high. They're all drunk. And
Oh, I'm a fan that...
Joe Billy, let's get in there.
What's her name? The family of the fallen woman from Jan 6. They're suing the Capitol Police for $30M. I'm a fan of that, man, because nothing about Jan 6 is correct.
Yeah, it just stinks.
So with the lawsuits coming out, more and more stuff's going to have to come out.
And in 5 to 10 years, when the real story comes in, the CIA, all that information starts popping out, and it will, the truth will come out. We can look back at this podcast and say, yeah, see, if we were correct in questioning all the BS.
We were on the right
I know
side.
we're way off the topic, but it's all part of the program. Right? Yeah.
You know what,
Bidenomics, right?
And the audience that has stuck with us and been watching for the first 9 episodes, right? And now episode X.
Yeah.
Fact of the matter is, they know the only rule is to give the truth, right? So always appreciate the truth. Our next segment.
Sorry. Read it back in.
All good. Finish this sentence, which is, again, presented by the Guam Army National Guard and the 3 Blind Mice. The Filipino who had the greatest impact in world history is...
See, I got in trouble for this I was on a show.
Uh-oh.
And then they were asking me, who's the most influential Filipino in I don't know, in the world or times or history? And my first answer was Lapu-Lapu. and they told me I was incorrect. It's Jose Rizal.
Okay.
I said, well, the first is for sure going to be Lapu-Lapu. He was the first one that chopped up people that came onto the island. So he would be the first. Jose Rizal, when they started using the written word, that would be the second. So I would say those two have are the most influential people in Philippine history that did something big. I would say Lapu-Lapu, however, set the tone of how Philippines would become known throughout history.
But you just got deep.
Yeah.
Even like the Filipino Americans or Filipinos all over the world, like, man, Mom, I got to research that shit.
I'm not worthy, brother.
I'm
not worthy. I was going to say Manny Pacquiao now. Oh, gosh.
Sorry, guys.
No, that's great. Lapu-Lapu, you go back to,
when Magellan tried to come and hang out.
Exactly. One of the originals, right? The guy who, to me, I'm not answering the question, but the one that I thought that impacted me and just how I saw growing up was President Ferdinand Marcos.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw, he had both, right?
Nino.
Yeah, he was going to fix the country, and then he went to did some good stuff, and then he went to martial law, which is it's a scary time. My father was a speaker at the time of the Guam legislature here, and he used to go to the Philippines and do that whole protocol stuff, right? The visiting back and forth, and then he declared martial law, and I just see the look on my dad's face when he said, "Oh, President Marcos declared martial law." He just had this look of like freaking fear, like, oh, because the fear of the unknown. Law. You don't know what's going to happen, right?
Yeah,
he just locked it down, right? And so, and I think certainly a lot of people say, that was a bad time in our history, which I can certainly appreciate and respect, and probably agree with you. But at the same time, it also helped shape the future of the country, right? Knowing, okay, that's something that maybe we don't want to ever go back to, or pivot here, pivot there, kind of thing, right? So I think he made a big impact in the world history, as far as the Philippines is concerned. And that's it. And I'm not a Philippine historian by any stretch of the imagination, so I'm not going to pretend that I am. But just from my vantage point, that's what I saw.
That
Chief.
makes sense,
Well,
Chief. Yeah, Chief.
You mentioned pivot, so we're going to pivot a little bit.
Okay.
In 10 years, Elon Musk will be.
Oh,
shit. He'll be on Mars, man.
Yeah, all right.
Or at least he'll die trying.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. B. In 10 years, Elon Musk will be.
Richer.
That's what Bojo said earlier.
He'll be richer. In 10 years from now, man, I think he's going to... Listen, everybody plays their part. Everybody has their part, but I'm hoping Elon is one of the guys who can show humanity how to use technology for the benefit of man. I'm a half full glass kind of guy. My fingers are crossed with Elon. I hope, Elon. I hope.
That's a good point, and I just kind of being sarcastic when I said Mars, but that's what he's shooting for.
You're probably right.
Yeah, but what I will tell you, he's become a very significant. He's having a major influence on the American society and the American culture. Certainly, he's very wealthy. He's involved in the technology in a number of different, SpaceX. Of course, X itself, former Twitter.
You don't have to say Twitter anymore. You can just say X.
Yeah, so
people are getting it now.
It's already. I mean, he's got a major influence and a major impact, and I think that impact in 10 years is going to be even more so.
Yeah.
And I think his head is in the right place. He's one of those guys. He wasn't those spoiled brat Americans. He wasn't a born and raised American, right? He made his wealth coming into the country, and so he appreciates it. I was watching. This British guy, I forgot what his name was. He was on one of those conservative talk shows. And he said, I appreciate it, in this British accent, I'm not an American, but I appreciate America. I've been around the world. I've seen what these other places are like Elon Musk. They both agree that America is something that's very important, and it's unique, And you don't want to walk away from that, or you don't want to run into something else, which you think is the great thing. Socialist country, read AOC, and all those Jayapal and all those people. You're just barking up the wrong tree with that. America's a great country, and we need to keep it that way. And I think Elon Musk will help us get there, or continue to stay on the path.
Oh, beautiful. That wasn't even planned.
Right? Yeah.
Talking about the owner of X on episode X. How
Oh,
wonderful is that?
Hey, look at that. It's
All
the
right.
universe.
Stop lying, dude.
The universe. Elon.
Didn't even plan it, Frank B. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Again, we want to recognize our sponsors, our brand partners, Guam Army National Guard.
Always
Thank you, Guam Army
Thank you
National
for your
Guard.
service.
Three
Three
blind
blind
mice.
Three blind mice.
Grapplers Quest.
GQ.
And Truth Apparel.
Coming up.
Truth Apparel. You know.
Be back in 2.
Drop tune.
Yo.
All right, gentlemen, it is time for verified mail. This is where we get some letters, some text messages, some email, and they, most of the time, right, every once in a while, they might ask a question of the chief, but they want to ask you some things. This one even calls you Mr. Vera. So,
Yeah. You know what?
Mr. Vera?
Let me put a pause in that real quick. We need to do this live one day so that people can actually call in, like old school radio style. Remember people call in?
We were just
talk?
talking about that earlier.
That would be cool, man.
Oh, that's going to be wonderful.
And I want to give a shout out to Bryson Molino from the Guam Army National
Hey,
Guard. Shout
Big
out.
D.
I hope you make it to become an officer one day. Ingats, good luck, huh?
Thank you for your service, Bryson. All right. Verified mail brought to you by Guam Windward Memorial and the Guam Army National Guard. All right. Here's the question.
Okay, let's go.
Mr. Vera, I found the story about your encounter with those serial killers both horrifying and bizarre. I'm glad you and Mr. Irvin made it out alive. Please tell us whatever happened to them, and also who in the MMA scene have you encountered that may have been a serial killer in a former life. So, again, this is a two-parter.
First off, let me go ahead and thank you, Master Lloyd Irvin from the East Coast, one of my teachers and mentors. Motherfucker. I'm here today because of you, Master Lloyd. So thank you, and I love you. And man, it's a big deal, man, because without that guy doing the shit that he did that night, just like in the movies that you see in John Wick, Master Lloyd did in real life. He guys came in. Long story short, man, it's when the banks were collapsing, they were closing
2008.
and stuff like that, you know. Master Lloyd at the time, he has a bunch of businesses, always. He's always doing everything, and he's amazing at everything he does. His mastermind meetings, his books, his DVDs. Something was in between training sessions, too. I remember I was tired as hell. I just got upstairs to go lay down to go to sleep before next training, and then I heard Master Lloyd say, "Oh, shit." Boom, booked out the door and took off. And I come running downstairs like, what's going on? What's going on? I see, I think it's Wells Fargo on the verge of collapse, looking for partners. Bank of America, you know, in trouble. The Master Lloyd took off, and I guess he went to the bank to close his accounts.
money.
And I don't know what bank he went to or where he went. But I guess he asked for all of his, they were trying to give him checks, cashier's checks, CDs. It's like, you guys are closing. I don't want any. I need cash. Like, you need to give me cash now. So I don't know what happened or how they did it, but they got him cash. I guess they had, they had to deliver all sorts of cash. I don't know how much cash it was, but I know it's Master Lloyd's cash. So it had to have been a lot of cash at the time. So we fast forward a little bit after we're already talking to the detectives and stuff. The way that we are about ourselves, nobody knows anything about what anybody does with any of our people. Everybody's pretty quiet. Nobody's flashy, So it had to have been somebody from the bank that told or called somebody to let them know where the cash was going and stuff. It had to have been, because there's no way that this would have happened. The two serial killers...
Inside job, so to speak.
Inside job, yes, sir. So the two serial killers, I guess they've robbed a whole bunch of people before. They killed the husband after they made him watch what they did to their, bad guys, So they've done this a lot. They even burglarized one of the big pastors from the area, somebody who does the mega church thing. Mm-hmm. So this was their shtick. Long story short, the night of the thing happened, it was the bank night, same exact night. Master Lloyd just fell asleep on the computer downstairs, didn't turn the house alarm on. The windows in the basement are super small, so they had to put a child through to open the back door. They came in through the basement. Yeah,
they knew.
They're pros. This is their gig, So they brought somebody up. I guess they caught Master Lloyd on the couch sleeping. Everybody's already asleep in the house. They come upstairs. Master Lloyd comes into my room and wakes me up. Say, "Hey, don't scream. These guys are in the house. They're here to rob us, man. They got a gun to our back. You can't do anything. I need you to get up, B." And I remember waking up, and I was fighting Keith Jardine at the time. I was literally 1 week away. I'm cutting weight. I'm in shape, and I'm grumpy as hell. I'm tired, and I'm thinking like the first thought in my head was like, these guys couldn't do this when I was fat and out of shape. I had to go through this whole bullshit camp, and now I might get shot. I'm tired. Oh my God! Like that's this. And then I get up and I see the guys that are flashing lights in front of me, and Master Lloyd's behind me, and I know he's down. So I just start walking towards the guys. And as I walk towards them, they stay 6 feet away from me. They stay in tandem, and they keep stepping together away from me. So I was like, man, these fucking guys are good, man. Like, they're not going to mess up right now. So they said, stop moving, big man. Stop moving, big man. I finally stopped, turned around, walked to the room. They got Master Lloyd to walk to the room. We walk into the master bedroom where Miss Vicky Irvin is asleep and little Lloyd is asleep. I think he might be on the bed with her, or maybe on an air mattress beside. They get Miss Vicky on the ground. They tell me get to my knee. They tell me get to the ground. I'm walking around Miss Vicky and I'm watching all of this ish happen at the same time. Master Lloyd has little Lloyd in his arm, one arm, and he's carrying the air mattress around with him. And they have a giant master bedroom. It's like fireplace and it's a giant ass master bedroom. So, and we're by the bathroom. I remember I dropped to my knees and was like, fuck, man, we need a break. Something has to happen. So we need a break. And then I start to lay down and I hear Master Lloyd, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Long story short, he positions himself as he's going through this in his head. Listen, this is happening real time, just like the movies. He's pulling this mattress around, holding his son. He's asking, what do you want me to do? I need to put my son down. I'm about to throw up. I don't know what to do. Oh my God, wait, where do you want to put this? Where do you want to put this? And he says, as the guy's giving him directions, he's telling the guy, I don't know what to do. Please tell me what to do. I don't know what to do with my son. Let me lay him on the ground. Let me lay him on the mattress. Let me just get this out the way. The guy's like, put it over there. Put it over there. I said, put it over there. Master Lloyd said, every time the barrel swept, 1. He was just counting and he said, 2. And he's talking and having a conversation with the guy and doing all this stuff all at the same time. And he said, right before he counted 3, he threw his son like onto the bed. He threw his son one way, grabbed the gun, and pushed it into the guy. Master Lloyd is probably one of the strongest people in the world that I've ever rolled with, So I can only imagine how strong his ass was when he grabbed his and pushed him. So I heard boom, pow, click. I hear the magazine drop. I jump up, and as soon as I jump up, that dude pushes Master Lloyd over the air mattress. They both fall towards us on the air mattress. I kind of catch Master Lloyd or fall out the way. The guy hits the deck, on the ground, jumps up, jumps over the railing from the second floor all the way to the first floor. Boom, lands.
He's out the door. Yeah.
Master Lloyd grabs
He's
the gun.
done this before.
Yeah. He grabs the gun. We back up inside the room. Everybody goes into the bathroom. And then the second person that was on the far side of the house, as we're backing into the bathroom, I guess he might have ran out and came and went out the back door. Master Lloyd went out to the window and shot by the woods where they were running. Then we just waited for the cops. Funniest thing, let me add in, the police show up, we're on the phone. They say, oh, you guys come on down and open the front door. Let us in. Fuck you. We don't know if they're still here. Kick the door down. Come on in. Don't worry about it. We'll fix it. Come on in. That's your job. Well, we'll see you. We're here up top. The gun's pointed. As soon as we shoot you guys, we'll put the gun down. And that was it. They finally came in. But it was literally a conversation of come to the front door and let us in, or kick the door down. Man, aren't you guys the ones supposed to kick the MF door down?
Yeah.
Sorry, I know I cussed a lot during that story, but it's kind of a high tense moment. After that, everything happened. We kind of slept weird that next night. The next day after that, we go to an event because some of our people are fighting. So we have to go to this event and be inside an event with people all around us. Weirdest feeling ever. Because they could have been there.
Yeah.
They saw who we were. I don't know who they are. Fast forward 6 days later, I'm fighting UFC. I'm walking down the aisle, and all I can think about is these guys know who the fuck I am.
Yeah.
These guys know who I am. These guys know who I am. They're going to see me, and now it's going to be
knows?
round two.
Yeah.
Man. So fast forward a little bit more. They're selling weapons to an undercover ATF agent. Because when they're robbing people, they're taking everything.
Everything, yeah.
That's how they got busted. They got backtracked. Somebody snitched. Somebody told on them. They ended up going to jail. Long story short, for you guys don't know, life is not how everyone told you. It's not black and white. I'm going to tell you like this. We pulled all the favors we could to try to get inside those cells with those boys. Almost got to it, but was not allowed. And just so you know, if we can almost get into an MF cell with somebody just on the favors that we know and people we know, Epstein didn't kill himself.
Speaking from experience there. Yeah.
I love that pivot.
Yeah.
Second part to the question, sorry, that was a big part in our life. Second part to the question, any fighters that could have been serial killers? Yeah, all of them. All of us could be serial killers, man. Like, we just decided to go right instead of left, man. Yeah. So all of them, man, all of them.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that with us. B.
Thanks, guys. Sorry,
That
guys.
was a great story. Holy shit.
Hey, you're compelling, and but honestly, I mean, you just think about it. I see you started to get emotional there when you were thanking Master Lloyd.
Master Lloyd.
Yeah. I love you, Master Lloyd.
We thank
Love
you. I
fam.
don't even know you, and I love you, Master Lloyd. I appreciate you taking care of B and your family. All right, we're moving on to the next segment. This is Truth or BS.
Okay.
Hey, all right.
A little bit lighter than that last verified
guys.
question we had. No, it's all good, man. All right. Tell me if this is truth or BS, guys. Extraterrestrials have visited our planet, and soon the U.S. government will reveal this fact. Truth or BS?
You, Chief.
Okay. I'll cut that in half. The first half, extraterrestrials have visited our planet. Truth. Soon the U.S. government will reveal this fact. It's that word soon.
Yeah.
What is soon?
Soon, do you mean
Like in
Johnny in the next 3 centuries?
2055? Is that what we're talking about? I'm not quite
Before
sure.
we die?
Right? Area 51? I don't know about that. And that was how long? I mean, yeah, so that's a 50-50 on that one. So however you want. But ETs, they've been here.
Yeah.
No
Okay.
question about it. And soon the U.S. government will,
Soon is relative.
Soon is relative, yeah.
All right. I tell you what, B, I'm going to go right into that next statement. You tell me truth or BS. Nikki Haley would be a much better running mate for Donald Trump than Ron DeSantis or Vivek Ramaswamy.
That's an absolute misstatement. She's spineless and will flip her view on something with the wind.
VERAfied Podcasters, I think we're calling that one BS.
That's
Yeah.
bullshit.
She can't stand, like, she flip flops back and forth too much for me. Too much on everything. Just not a fan. I'm not a fan. That's the only thing that she speaks well. She's like Vivaswamy. Like, how do I say his name?
Ramaswamy, Vivek.
Vivek, yeah. She's like him. She can say the right things. She carries the room well. But yeah, man, no. She when you look at her issues, she flip flops back and forth all the time.
Well, I was a fan until they asked her about the
Civil War. Yeah.
Well, what happened? Please tell me. What happened? Wait,
Reporter says to her at a town hall, do you know the reason the Civil
Yeah,
War
what-
started?
yeah.
What was the purpose?
Yeah.
She said, well, it's I think it had to do with government control. And after, the reporter was kind, he said, okay, you do know it's about slavery,
Yeah.
right? Okay. Yeah. And for the last 2 weeks, she's just been
Eating it.
Big time.
How did you not know that, man? See, then.
It's one of those things, right?
I guess you can't carry a room anymore when you ask her
if
questions.
you're explaining, you're not campaigning, right? So
Wow, man.
unfortunately,
That's
that's how she.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Civil War. She can even answer Civil War question.
Yeah. Pretty easy one when you think
Government
about
control.
And she was backpedaling pretty hard. She goes, well, people from the South, we know our history, so I just assumed you knew it too. Well, okay.
Right? And then why didn't you just say
and that slavery was a part of it, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I was thinking about this. Donald Trump he's got to pick his own number 2.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
And he obviously a very headstrong kind of a guy. I think his political people are telling him you need to get, they have to have certain, check certain boxes,
sir.
right?
Sure.
I think some of them are going to say probably female, but I think the most important thing, he has to feel comfortable with them, right? Because he's that kind of a guy. And with what's her name?
He's not going to mix with her.
Yeah. The way they've been kind of going, he called her Bird Brain. That's her new nickname. It's like, oh gosh, Donald, what the hell are you doing? But it was interesting. Ramaswamy, although he doesn't check off certain boxes, he'd be a good Trump light because they both just look at the swamp and they're just like,
And they
no,
go
you
hard.
guys, you guys
They go
are full of shit.
They go hard on the
And
mic.
they go, dude.
Oh, man. Yeah.
They go
And it's
hard.
funny, every once in a while when I think, wow, Donald Trump doesn't have a filter. Vivek, I don't think they made one for this man.
He's like,
I mean,
listen, you guys keep using that. Let me circle back to the real issue. Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Donald Trump's obnoxious. He's an obnoxious asshole. Vivek's, he's so smooth that he's so polished that he's smooth, almost slippery.
Yep.
And that's why people have kind of a, oh shit, I'm not sure. But if you listen to what he says, he's a deep thinker and he's smart.
He's a philosopher for sure.
Yeah, and if you're not quite sure and you want to test your own knowledge about how you think about life, either he'll know the answer. And so he was talking. Someone asked him about, do you summarily
Condemn white
white
Yeah.
supremacy?
That's the one I was talking about.
And he gave us an answer that was just a real big to her face.
Yeah.
And this was a Washington Post reporter, a big like.
It was
I'm not
nice.
playing that game, number one, because you're the freaking racist yourself. He said, "Look at me. I mean, do I look?
Yeah.
What do you think I'm going to say?"
Yeah.
And he does everything with a smile. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
He's too good, man. That's the thing that makes me nervous about him, man.
You know
Is he,
what?
is
I'm
he a
just gonna
genius?
tell you, your
I
rants
think so,
were so
man.
good, it doesn't matter whether you said truth or BS. I just
Yeah.
had a direct. Did you enjoy
Yeah.
that? I love that.
So I would like to add on your so for the Don, who would you want to be his VP?
Oh, that's different. That's a different question.
Who would you want? Because I would like to know, Chief. Yeah, who would you want as his VP?
As his VP,
That's a good one.
I think one of the guys. Well, this is
Pick
not
two. You can pick two then, Chief.
assuming he wins. Okay,
assuming he wins.
because
Yes, sir.
you pick your running mate to help you bolster areas where you're weak.
Yes, sir.
So definitely you want a female.
Okay,
right?
okay.
You probably want color to the female.
Okay.
Right. I think Nikki Haley on paper is the right one.
Even after her
Oh
Civil
yeah.
War thing?
Oh yeah.
Just so you know, Chief is very seasoned in politics, and he's not just talking out of his butt. If he's saying that he can get over a Civil War thing, that's how politics works. Like that's how it is.
Yeah, there'll be the attacks, but you do
It's
certain
real.
things. But I'll tell you, the guy who would be the great vice president for Donald Trump or anybody would be Vivek Ramaswamy. I think he'd be a
okay.
great number 2.
Okay.
He's smart, man. He's smart.
You can't fight him on the mic.
Yeah. No, he'll whip your ass. And, you know, he'll whip anyone's ass on a debate stage, which tells me that he'll whip any bureaucrat's ass in a conversation about policy, which is exactly, you need that kind of leadership. Because these bureaucrats are going to try to go left or go right, wherever they want to go. And he's going to say, no, we're not going that route. We're going here, and here's why.
He does steer the conversation like that, yeah.
And that's what leaders do.
Yeah.
Right? You know, Joe Biden, he didn't even know where the exit stage is.
Who am I supposed to call next?
Yeah, he's all over his wife's, over here, okay. Right.
Podcasters.
Sorry.
Sorry, yeah. Sorry.
VERAfied Podcasters.
Thanks, viewers. Sorry, guys.
My
You
bad.
witnessed the brilliance, the genius
Beep, beep. Yeah.
Thanks,
of
thanks,
Brandon
Verified
Vera
fam.
and Franklin Arriola. I love that. That's like a dance. That's beautiful stuff. All right.
Oh, boy.
The director is sitting there and he's saying, Johnny,
Sorry,
wrap this up.
Sorry,
You guys are having fun.
Let's go, man.
So again, my favorite segment, the VERAfied Top 5, presented by the Guam Army National Guard, Grapplers Quest, and Truth Apparel. All right. Gentlemen, give me your top 5 combat sports figures. Okay, so when you think about the combat sports figures, think about it, right? Pugilists. Think about MMA guys. Think about, even if you can throw hockey in there if you want, right?
History
There's a fight and a hockey game broke out.
Yeah. Okay.
So, in history. So, I'm not going to lead you, but, you can throw out anybody from Connor to Muhammad, right?
Yeah.
Top 5 combat sports figures.
You can do the MMA guys.
No, mine's a giant mix.
Yeah,
Mine's
okay,
a
go.
giant mix.
I want to focus on the boxing guys. I was a fan of boxing growing up.
For me, the first one I want to mention is every single last gladiator, whether a free man or a slave. Because those guys, you were either
Life or death. That's it.
undefeated or dead.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it went, So those guys for sure. Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, Jet Li, Manny Pacquiao. For me, that's my list. Like,
Manny.
is that 5 or is that 4? Are we at 4? 4? I can add.
B, this is your show. You can add 6. You can go 20.
We'll add Pernell Sweepy Whitaker. 2 reasons. Because he's from the 757.
There you go.
And
shout out to the homeboy.
Shout out to the
got
home
it,
guy.
baby.
And he was the first guy that I saw with my own eyes make fun of people for missing him.
Yeah.
And he would do it like ballet. He would do it in such a beautiful, eloquent fashion and then smack you in the face with it with the right or left hand after. I was like, golly, you're making people mad. They can't hit you and you can punch whenever you want. I want to be like that guy. I want to be like that guy.
Yeah.
So fast forward to my MMA career, everybody had their heroes, and one of them was Sweepy Whitaker, Pernell Sweepy Whitaker. I played football with his nephew, Roniel Whitaker, at Lake Taylor. He went off to college to play somewhere else too. And I remember Sweepy coming to the games and watching with us, And I just think, man, be like that guy one day. People just can't hit you.
Sweet Pea, he was a gold medalist too, wasn't he? Olympics?
He was in the Olympics. I don't know if he was a gold medalist, but he was.
Okay.
He was in the Olympics, yes, sir.
Yeah.
He might have been.
I thought he was a gold medalist.
Chief, it looks
I
like
could
you're
be
going to
wrong.
go the way of the boxers, huh?
Yeah, I'm a little bit older than you. My dad was a huge boxing fan. He used to take us to the Guam Recreation Center down here in Guam. Yeah, I was a little kid growing up. And then he took me, this is the reason why I'm really an Ali Frazier fan for both guys. In March the 8th, 1971, my dad took me to the cinema theater and live via satellite from New York City
Yeah.
was the first one.
Yeah.
Ali Frazier won. And I remember going in there watching that fight. It was a 15-rounder.
Was that Johannesburg?
No, it's in New York City.
New
Madison
York.
Square Garden.
Okay,
MSG,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the very first one.
Okay.
And I remember Joe. I was a big fan of Ali. I'd never seen Joe Frazier, and I'll tell you, I was still a fan of Ali, but Joe Frazier beat the shit out of him. The right side of his face, of Ali's face, was puffed because Frazier's signature left hook. He was just a monster, a monster. So I'd have to say those 2 guys just because of those 3 fights that they had.
And that's a beautiful thing, right? You
Yeah.
pick Ali Frazier.
Yeah,
I mean,
and then of course let's call them the 4 horsemen, right?
Okay.
Freaking, no specific order. It was what's the guy's name? Roberto Duran,
Yeah, okay.
And
Sugar
Stone.
Ray Leonard, Marvelous Marvin, and
Hagler.
Tommy
Tommy.
and Tommy Hearns.
Tommy Hearns,
Hitman.
yes, sir.
That welterweight division back in those days.
Yes, sir.
That's terrifying.
That was real boxing to me, right? I mean, those guys, they weren't screwing
Fighters.
around.
Real fighters.
Yeah,
Real fighters,
Those
yeah.
boys went at it. They hate.
Yeah.
None of them liked any of them. They didn't like each other. They just didn't like each other. They get in
Yeah.
the ring, man. They're like, let's go, let's get it on. And I was thoroughly entertained by just all their where they were born and raised in, what they made them themselves, you know. And they went at it pretty good. The Hagler Hearns
That's one
fight.
Hagler
that was
Hearns, yeah.
2.5 rounds of just fucking go get it.
That first
Go
round.
get it. Oh,
That first round. Every time you
Oh.
thought somebody was going to let up,
oh no.
I'm going to throw
No,
you some
they
more.
went at it,
Oh, he's
yeah.
going at. No, he's throwing. Oh, he's going to.
Yeah,
Oh,
Sugar
man.
Ray
That's
and
sweet.
Duran.
So let's add in. Let's
Sorry.
add in some. No. Let's add in some names of fighters that you need to watch aside from the ones that we just named.
Yeah.
So Hagler Hearns. Let me add in Gotti Ward. All three of those.
Yeah,
All three of those.
yeah.
Because the third one, they were both, or second one, I think, before the third one, they were in the hospital hugging and crying on each other
Yeah.
while they're going in to get CT scans on their brains because they beat the hell out of each other. Yeah. Who else is some good series?
Those kind of series. Wow. Oh, Pacquiao Marquez.
Oh, Pacquiao
The
Marquez.
Mexican. Oh,
yeah.
oh my God! Great fights.
Yeah.
Great fights.
That was a monster.
Mark Hunt, Ray Sefo, kickboxing. Make sure you watch that one.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite fights that I never
Yeah.
wanted to be in. Mark Hunt, yeah.
Okay, since we're on this beat, if you could just name two of the best MMA fights ever.
Oh man. Best MMA fights ever.
Ever. Oof. Dude, that's
Jeez,
that's tough to nail
man.
down to just
Yeah.
two. Yeah.
But you're just going to narrow it down, right? Everybody used to talk about, I remember, it was one of my favorites, Bonner and,
Man.
who did Bonner fight for that
Oh,
first
when they
Ultimate
blew
fight?
up Bonner and Forrest. You know, that always has to be one of
Those
the
guys
top
look
two.
like algebra teachers, bro. Those two.
Forrest Griffin,
The way they
Bonner,
look.
yeah.
Yeah, they looked
But
like
man,
they
they
went
were
through a meat grinder, though, at
monsters,
the end of
bro.
that fight,
They were
though,
monsters.
But they
quit.
introduced to the world what it meant to be an MMA athlete. No quit, no stopping, all heart.
Yeah.
Skill was gone because everybody was so tired of just swinging.
Just fighting with will, just
fighting.
sheer will.
Yeah, just no quit, man. That had to have been one of the greatest MMA fights in history. Even without it being the most super technical fight, you know, they just showed you what it was to
Warrior.
be an MMA fighter. Yes, sir.
Warrior
What it
spirit.
took to be something inside of this sport.
Okay. Now, if you're going to sit there, you're going to look straight into the camera and you say, but guys, the number one MMA fight you must watch is, I know that's a tough one, but.
An MMA fight, man, because some of the MMA fights just end standing. You know, they were great fights and they didn't do any MMA. That's why I would have to review tapes and watch, man. I'm trying to think of one that went all over the place.
But just remember, if I was to throw out names like Hua and Couture and Chuck Liddell and Tito,
All of them were amazing, man.
the Axe Murderer, let me see,
There's so many.
Rampage.
Rampage when he fought, when he slammed that guy from heaven, when he put him in the triangle, Ricardo Arona. When Arona put the triangle on Rampage and he was all the way in, and Ricardo Arona is one of the best
Yeah.
submission artists in the world at the time, you know. Rampage just picked him up, pointed straight up to God himself, and then brought that dude back down to earth. Boom! Anime style. He exploded on the mat. Rampage was standing up. He was sleeping. I think Rampage dropped one more. Boom!
Oh, yeah.
Fight was over. And then I think that was one of the pinnacles of horsepower in MMA. And I think that was a good fight because Rampage wasn't polished. He wasn't good on the ground, you know. Everybody knew if he got caught in a submission, that was going to be the end of the fight.
Yeah. He proved otherwise.
He proved otherwise.
Yeah.
He showed the world horsepower. Sometimes we'll win.
I don't think. I think I remember though. I don't think Rampage got the memo that he was supposed to lose that to a submission artist. So, yeah, kudos to Rampage. That's a beautiful list, gentlemen. And I know director right now is saying wrap it up because I know
Sorry,
we can
Direct.
go on forever, right?
Way overboard.
When you ask these two guys about combat sports figures, you know you're going to go on. All right. We're going to wrap this up. Fantastic show, by the way. Always is. Thank you
Number
again.
10.
Three Blind Mice,
Thank you.
episode X.
Episode X.
We're going to wrap this up with some truisms from Brandon and Frank. Anything you want to send out there to the world, to this audience, to this VERAfied Podcast audience?
I'm kind of in a festive mood. I don't even know why. What just popped into my head was, and this is nothing. It's no truism, but for our group right here, for our next show, I got bottles of liquor all over the place. We got some Chivas. We're gonna pop that sucker open. I got some Scotch glass in there. We're gonna have a little tipsy there.
Okay.
Yeah, for our next show.
All right.
And
We're going to go on after that 3 hours of truisms.
Yeah, have a good time. And
Extended show.
That's right.
And just have a good time. Just party. Enjoy. Celebrate life.
But I think we can get a truism from that, right? Appreciate what you got.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. This is something that I get to sign out with a lot on my social media, but I don't get to say it a lot out in public. I don't think of it, or I don't have the timing for it. But a truism, something I'd like to start maybe saying all the time is you don't need to help out all the time. You don't need to be a hero. But help when you can, where you can, if you can. On top of that, make somebody smile today. My name is Brandon the Truth Vera, here with Chief, here with Kuya John, at VERAfied Podcast for our 10th episode. Mahal ko kayong lahat. Mabuhay sa buong mundo. Viva Guam! Thank you very much, fam.
Viva.
Woo!
Super salamat.
Yeah!
Bang, bang.
Thanks, Chief.
That's
Thanks,
it, baby.
Chief.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kuya John.
Woo, woo.